I'm gonna show you guys how to make Michelin quality chicken stock just like we made at Danielle. We're using chicken backs and necks. You can get these at Whole Foods. It's $1.99 a pound. It's super cheap. Mirepoix. Grab a tiny pot. White wine. Now we're gonna add the chicken back. I'm gonna cover with water. Peppercorns. Skim off scum. And we just want gentle bubbles. We're gonna let this simmer for 3 hours. Make sure you skim it every once in a while. Turn off the heat. We're gonna add a handful of parsley stems. And we're just gonna let that steep for about 30 minutes. Now we're gonna put this in the fridge. So this is completely chilled. All we're gonna do now is skim the fat. And that's it. All you gotta do now is quart it up.
Homemade chicken stock. And it's as easy as that.
I'm going to show you guys my favorite way to make chicken stock. It's super cheap and super easy to make. I'm using chicken wings today, not a whole chicken. And you're going to add some onion, bay leaves, cloves, garlic, carrots, black peppercorns, cardamom pods, and that is it. Fill your pot up with water until it's all completely covered. Now you're going to add a teaspoon of salt. You're going to bring this stock up to a boil and then allow it to reduce by half. And in the process, you'll see this beautiful fatty goodness building up in your stock. Take out your chicken to air dry. Once that's done, adjust the seasoning of your salt. Grab yourself a smaller pot to transfer the leftover stock into. Add a sieve there before you transfer so you can catch any leftover impurities and any peppercorns that were left in there. And now you're left with this beautiful, delicious stock. Now, those chicken wings, they're not going to waste. We're going to pop them into a tray, put whatever seasoning of your choice on there and bang them into your oven on the highest heat possible until they crisp up. Crispy chicken, beautiful stock, can't get better than
Fish stock sort out some onion, celery, leek, carrot, thyme, parsley stalks, garlic cloves, bay leaves, peppercorns. Cover it with a lid, let that sweat off for 5 to 10 minutes. Chuck in some white wine, fish trimmings. I'm using fish wings. Cover that with a lid, let steam for about 5 minutes. To firm up the fish means a clearer stock. Cover with water, bring it up to a simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. Strain your fish stock and use it for your soups and sauces. I'm making a Moreton Bay bug bisque. Yum.
If you've ever wondered what to do with leftover bones, don't throw them out, make a bone broth instead. Add oil and salt to your bones and then roast them for 45 minutes. Transfer to a stock pot, add onions, celery, carrots, garlic, and water. Bring to a boil, then reduce to a gentle simmer while skimming any excess fat off the top and discarding it. After 6 to 8 hours of simmering, you should have a bone broth. Run your broth through a strainer so that you can get rid of any little bits and pieces. Refrigerate for an hour overnight until the fat rises to the top, then skim it off. You can reserve all the fat and use it in your cooking, or you can choose to discard it.
This is what real stock looks like. I like to add bone marrow to my beef stock. In the oven. In the oven. Tomato paste. Bone marrow is done. Back in the oven. Peppercorns. Alright, I'm not done with these bones yet. So these bones, I'm gonna cover up with water and I'm gonna let them simmer again. And that's gonna make a second weaker stock called a remoulade. And you can reduce that and add it to this stock, or you can save it and use it to make your next round of stock. And then this gets iced down. I'm gonna put this away in the fridge when it's cold and I'll see you in the morning. Next morning, and there you have a super rich and gelatinous beef stock. Last time I did a stock recipe, people were very surprised by this.
Fountain of youth is real, and I got it. Making bone broth soup. Get your beef bones, tomato paste, add some olive oil too. Rub it all in like that. Pop it in the oven at 425. Chop your veggies, boom, flip them over. Now add your veggies, put them back in. Everything here goes here. We're not leaving this liquid gold. Fill the pan with water. Add enough water to just cover it. Garlic, a little of this, peppercorns, garlic powder, kosher salt. Bring it to a boil. Now drop it low, scoop into a
Here is how I make my bone broth. So you'll need 3 pounds of beef marrow bones, any veggies you like, this just for flavor. sea salt, black peppercorn, apple cider vinegar. We're then going to add our bones in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes to roast them for more flavor. Once it's done, add to an Instant Pot, and then we're going to add water, apple cider vinegar, just to extract more of the nutrients from the bones. And then we're going to add our veggies, add the water to the water line, and then we're going to turn it to meat stew, pressure level to low for 3 hours, and turn this baby to sealing to let it do its thing for 3 hours. Once it's done, we're going to add the liquid to a container and let it cool off for about 20 minutes before popping it in the fridge. The white things that are floating to the top is just the fat. You can take this out and store in the fridge to use for cooking because it's beef tallow, but that's